Guys, welcome back, and it's great to be here again. So, European Pro League America's Season 6 is about to start in about a second. We have one best of three for you guys today. It's going to be Solid versus the Sharks. And before we talk about the fact that it's called the European Pro League and we're on the America's tournament, well, let's get back to the game. Let's actually talk about the teams. So, we're about to start, and we have gone... Well, we actually have come far away already to check out the playoff situation. You can actually see it on the screen at the moment. So we're just a game away, pretty much, from figuring out who is actually going to go to the grand finals from the second last game. So it's going to be from the lower brackets, Solids versus the Sharks, like you can see. And yeah, they already even have a team in the finals, just pretty much waiting. Solid's lineup is made out of GPB, LCM, Xurbreba, CSO, and a BNC. That is pretty much the full lineup at the moment. And at the same time, let me actually check out what really happened on a roster before. And meanwhile, the roster from the Shark side is DRG, Togs, Gafolo, Rondzao, and Doc. The Rondzao, Ardianzao, is going to be a hard name for me to pronounce, but it is what it is. Let's actually check out the match and the upcoming match in about a second. So let me see the bracket, what's been happening before. So far, you can actually see the bands in the screen at this point as well. Let me just open it up from here. Yeah, so Case did win their game against... they won their game against Solid, and Sharks lost their game against Galoris. Galoris at the moment is waiting at the final. They win the game against Case, and Case is pretty much waiting for the team to win... the team to actually go forward from this best of three. So yeah, that's what's happening. So, and the map that is going to be played is going to be Vertigo. That's going to be Solid's pick. After that, we are going to be hopping into Sharks' pick, which will be... At the moment, that everything is going way too quick on the screen. So it's going to be Anubis, I think. No, Anubis is going to be the first. Solid picked Vertigo. After that, it's going to be Anubis. And Inferno is going to be the decider. Okay. And that's pretty much going to be the games that we have pretty much today. So it's just going to be one best of three, nothing else. And you can actually see Anubis stats at the moment on the screen. 14 maps being played. That's almost like a little bit over 80% map win rate, which is kind of amazing in a way. And for the first map that we are going to be playing, of course, Vertigo. You can actually see some of the stats over here. 50% for the side of Sharks and 24 Solids. Let's hop into the game. And this is pretty much going to be the first and the only best of three for today. I was actually ready to cast two, but for some reason the second game is going to be casted tomorrow. And that's going to be the winner from this is going to go against Case. And they're actually going to fight for a spot in the finals. That's kind of cool. And here we are, already starting. So, it's just a pistol round coming into play from the side of Sharks, as they are going to be defending on this map. Already middle has been busted open. DRG is going to just give them a little bit more space to play around with. Meanwhile, his teammates... Seems like they're a little bit confused where the push is coming from, because they're not actually posted the right way. So, two very quick kills for the side of Solid to open up that B side. A little bit of a fight coming in from middle from Gafolo, but that's going to be Doc from the lower side. Trying to get a little bit closer with those dualies. Oh my god, almost pulled out the microphone again. That's awesome. And, well, this round goes tits up pretty quick. As for some reason, when Solid, already executing to the site, spots two players facing the wrong way. That's going to be an interesting way to hold down the B side. Around for the side of Solids. Starting off their own map pick with a bang. Now the question is, are we going to get all three maps? Or not? A little bit of a buy from the side of Sharks, so they're definitely going to be investing to the second round. 5-7's pretty much in a straight, and a deagle. Usually when I see a deagle buy, I'm kind of waiting and hoping for it to be used at the entries, but this time around they're just going to be posting it back at the angle. So it seems like a follow is holding the elevator from A and playing more of that mid spot. So anybody deciding to go for a mid rush might fight that cannon over there. Meanwhile, a bit of a slower start here. That's going to be B and C to lead down the push towards the side. And Shark seems to be getting the right ideas. They're going to be rotating more players towards the A side. Already the smoke's coming in. There's even a smoke at the air for some reason. Not entirely sure what that NA smoke is, but the push coming in towards the side. Not really flashing the player. That nade is going to be perfect. But already 2 counter kills from both of the sides. So it's a 3 versus 3. And actually the damage is playing for the side of Sharks just a little bit better at the moment. Already on top of the bomb. Even the flash being dropped and fully blind. They're really going after the holder. Doxin gets a kill behind that smoke. Again, just to fake out the plan. Trying to keep the Thieves as long as they can at the site. And wait a minute, they actually might have had the time. The problem is, do they have the kits? No. Coming very close in that retake. Dropping every single player from the side of Solid. And to be fair with you, not a bad looking CT side at the start here. Of course, the problem is, as the money gets wiped, it's going to play a little bit better for the side of Solid. But looking into it, they can actually still buy those SMGs. And MP9s on a map like Vertigo is definitely not going to be a bad buy at all. Now the issue is, as they kind of have to win this round, it's going to throw them into a ridiculous economy loop if they don't. And that might bite them in the rear a little bit later. Basic sprays coming through. Just trying to make some noise at the moment. Maybe bait out the player to push. Do some mistakes. And a calm round. Neither of the sides going for those quick peeks at the start. Just playing a very conservative gameplay at the moment. Just pretty much waiting for the enemy team to do a mistake. But as they're both going for the same game plan, a minute has been played off the clock already. And we're kind of still waiting for a decision. Seems like the bomb has been rotated towards the B side. So, B side is on the cards. Utility has been used. It's just going to be the simple molly to make sure that nobody's going to be holding it behind the plywood. That's going to be 2 beautiful entries from the side of LCM. And BNC with the second one. Maybe they're just sticking their heads into a little bit of an awkward spot, but that's actually 2 counter kills coming in. The MP9 is starting to actually start into the fight. Oh god, coming in so close to even gain the last kill. That's just going to be GBB. Gob to actually hold it down. Swings from the catwalk, gets that last kill. But if you asked me, that round almost was a success for the side of Sharks. A very close round. Dropping most of the players from that close angle. The problem is that he's staying in a little bit of a way too open of a spot at that point. Was kind of hoping to reset after that spray, but it happens. And again, a buy from the side of Sharks. They're just not letting go of these rounds. They know they have to just win pretty much 1 gun round. And that's just gonna throw Solid into a loop. But the problem is that they're risking their own game at the moment so harshly as well. But saving a few $1,000 for the next round, especially with the loss bonus, they should be... That should be enough money for them to buy entirely for the new round. Now, we haven't really had that action at the start. It's been a very slow start to every round here. Meanwhile, Ranzao finding the first shot on towards LCM. That's going to be BNC with the quick trade. But now, the B side has been already lost and the rotation is coming in from the Sharks. Closing into the side, even through the smoke. DRG is trying to do some plays, but the problem is BNC is pretty much just waiting for that to happen. Queso from the box is just pretty much jugging nades towards those smokes, but it seems like Sharks have let go of any hopes for this round. And they're just going to reset, save the weapons that they have armor, and to be honest, enough money for the next round to go for full rifles. So, at least we are going to get the first buy, and maybe some ops into the gameplay loop. Let's see some op shots. 4,700, yeah, that's gonna be enough money, especially with those armors being saved. And Togs, he doesn't actually have to even go for a rifle. He can just pretty much save that MP9 or draw it for his teammate. Or RJ's just gonna sacrifice it to the floor? Yeah, nobody's gonna go for it. I'm a little bit surprised. Not a bad weapon. There's definitely a spot where it's usable. M4s and that op coming in for Gaffolo. Togs is going to be the one to take care of middle, meanwhile. Looking into the swap of those utilities. That's just going to be a flash drop for his teammate. Ready to flash out the B side. A simple flash to make sure that anybody who's actually going to go for that peak is going to be destroyed. And Redzao gets the fight onto Xureba. It's going to be a very nice frag to start off the game, but it's not going to be enough. They still need to keep their numbers up. BNC with a cool quick trade. Tags. Or Togs. Goes for the mistake play. That's going to be the second kill, but finally nades falling in. They do get the trade frag, but the problem is they're actually starting to lose players. And winning a round like this, losing so many rifles is not going to be healthy for the side of the CT. The health is not playing for solid either. Got GBB is actually finding a nice kill onto towards Doxin. I'm not sure if it's Drago or DRG. I'm not entirely sure what the thing is with the Brazilian scene is to have names with 3 letters. Everybody's like CGB, DRC, BNC, CGG, CSO. Come on, boys. Be creative. It looks like a name generator made these names. It is what it is. Hola, ¿cómo están, chat? ¿Qué pasa, niños? Welcome to the stream, boys. At the same time, the RMRs are going on, and that's going to be the Group B. That's kind of cool. Perdeu Narod São Paulo. I'm not actually sure if that even means anything. Hey, man, hello, hello. Bro, Brazilians speak Portuguese, not Spanish. Yes, but there's not only Brazilians in the chat. There's people that speak Spanish too. Don't be narcissistic, brother. We're good. Can Solid have a chance? Well, they're actually doing very well at the moment. 5-0. To be honest, most of these rounds has been lost because of the immaculate spending from the side of Sharks. They're actually reminding the United States at this point. That flash is going to be perfect, but oh, Zhao almost doesn't peek the right corner, but he does go for the swing. Finds the kill. Brings the numbers again. Sharks, this has been, I think this has been the 3rd round in a row that they do get the first entry. The problem is kind of stabilizing after that. Sorry, my mistake. Oh, it's all good. I'm just kidding, brother. We're good. This is a chill chat. Nobody's here to be a bad boy, if that's what you want to call it. We're vibing. All right. Under a minute being left on the board. That's going to be 50 seconds to work with for the side of Solid. Already losing a player, doing a little bit damage on towards Doc. The question is it enough? A little bit of a call-out coming in from the CT side to bring a few players closer to the A side. There's still Ranzal holding down the B side behind that pillar. Through the smokes. Pop sprays coming in and doing a lot of damage with that Molotov. Gaffolo, for some reason, just stands on top of the molly. Waits for his death. I'm not entirely sure what the play there was, but the bomb gets planted towards the A side, and that's going to be the backside smoke to give them a little bit more space to play with. Meanwhile, rest of the players just pretty much waiting for a push. That's going to be the first line of flashes on top of the Tetris. The kill comes in. That's going to be GBB with 2 kills. Togs gets 2 as well, but Queso with the 2 remaining, makes it a 6, and Solid already winning half of the rounds here on Vertigo. And making it look crispy. Sharks starting off the round again with a kill. The problem is Gaffolo pretty much grilling himself on top of the flames. I'm not entirely sure why, but, you know, every now and then people do funny stuff. B-side execution seems to be on the cards. Well, at this point, Sharks. Oh, that triple nade is gonna work out so well. He gets 3 of the kills. Togs is the man to represent the kills. Now look at that. Utility bombardment working out for the first time very well. And to be honest, I think that's the first time in a row. First time in a while that I actually see a kill from nades that actually drop 3 players. That's insane. That is awesome. Great way to start off the round. Nades for the backside of that. Plywood, GBB, and Kesso already bringing 2 of those kills back. And this is exactly what I was talking about. It doesn't matter. Sharks, even with the few entries that they had throughout the game, the problem is they do give them back so quickly. Kesso finds 1 behind the head box. That's going to be Tox with a quick trade. 4 kills underneath his name already. And to be honest, this could be the greatest frag. Or sorry, greatest ace we've ever seen. If he gets the last kill as well. Rotation towards the A side. The bomb has been already planted. Even a right-hand smoke for GB. With 17 health points. That's not a lot to play around with now. Ready for the utility. Ready for the peak. That's going to be him showing his position at the moment. Playing it from a crane. Just the head being shown here. GBB. The only thing he has to do is hit 2 quick headshots. That's going to be first one of the 2. Only 1 needed. And that's going to be Togs. With the 5 kills on the board. A full ace. 3 kills from a nade. And a defuse on top of that. Clutching down the round. And that has to be one of the greatest aces we've ever seen on this channel. Togs. That's a name to remember from now on. Look at this. Even 3 players down, these guys are pretty much just hitting headshots. And to be honest, bringing this bomb plant towards the A side to a 1 versus 1. At the end of the day, a very doable round. And I was a little bit surprised he didn't actually jump behind the sandbags just to play a little bit more time. I think if he jumped behind the sandbags, that's the round done. Without the kits, it's done. A full spray towards the short side of that smoke. Anybody who wants to cross, well, they're gonna get a face full of bullets. Face full of leads. Alright. Nice op shot from Gaffolo. Nice way to start off the CT side. Again, we do get the first entry. Now the question is, what can I actually build on top of it? Nade bombardment coming in again. That's going to do a little bit damage this time around. The T is not really standing under it. Togs with the utility out. It's going to be burning one of the boost spots. That gives them just a little bit more time. You know, a flash on top. This utility play at the moment from the side of Sharks is actually pretty good. It's playing a lot off the clock. 40 seconds left for them to work with. That's going to be 35 in about a second. And finally, utility reigns. That's going to be the burn behind the box. A good spray through the plywood. Runs out. Drops down Zuraba. Meanwhile, Doxin helps himself with GBB. And already the round seems to be stagnated as Solid. They lose 3 players without any single trades on this round. And Sharks, well, they make their names known. OG Esports is about to start playing. Oh, that's going to be one of the throws. A little bit of a silent start here. And timeout from the side of Solid. Starting off with a beautiful game, but understanding that losing a few rounds in a row now is not going to be looked up on, well, happily. You want to keep the roll going. I actually want to get a few rounds more on the T side. But from Sharks, this could be the perfect opportunity to turn around the game. Go for something insane. Time on what's being needed. And finally, hopefully that was enough time for them to talk about what do they actually want to go for. So, around like this, utility is going to be bombed towards the ramp. That's just going to be a few shots through the smoke. DRG not really spotting anything. A lot of damage being done towards GBB. Even a little bit of a deeper nade as well. Takes a hold of every single 3 nades that's actually been thrown at the start of the round. With 1 HP, he limps away. So definitely utility damage from the side of Sharks. Has been working out pretty well. Of course, they want to keep this up. Entries already. Tox is going to be the one to find LCM. Meanwhile, Queso finds the quick trade. And one of those weapons has been retrieved. They do still have that one single op from Queso. Did it actually get the M4? It seems like no. Yeah, they actually didn't get the hold of that M4. It's a little bit unfortunate. Queso with a beautiful shot of that op. BNC actually finds the player behind the plywood. That's going to be a good entry as well. The numbers are playing for the side of Solid. They're already pushing on towards the side. And low HP behind the generator. That's going to be Gafolo. Being shocked down and behind the pillar. BNC with a 2 double kill. Spray. Make sure that Solid, even with the worst buy, well, they're easily going to be winning that round. Sharks. At the moment, kind of getting stomped here. Solid seems to be having the little bit of a better game plan throughout this series. Op shots coming in quick. Follow trying to make sure that Anubis is going to be pushing quickly. Meanwhile, towards the ram, GBB already finding the first kill on towards DRG. Utility being used for the side, even a high flash for the push. That's going to be dodged, and a better peek coming in from beside the Dachshund. The problem is BNC quick on the trade. And Togs behind the sandbags. Kind of hoping that an enemy could actually walk in front of his screen. Meanwhile, Solid. They seem to be just rotating this bomb back towards the B side, and the call from Sharks to go for the double stack could be the best one ever. And at this point, to be honest, I'd even actually rotate the third player just to try to keep the numbers alive. Go for that risk call out. Solid with those entries looking very good starting at the start of the game. Op shot quickly hits. That's going to be Gafolo with a killing. Actually backs away from that situation. Goes for the second one, and Zureba barely leaves the floor as his body gets pretty much stomped on the floor as well. And LCM with BNC seeing 2 of their teammates being dropped at the start. Meanwhile, rotation from the lower side. Actually, they're going to be pushing from middle at this point. So LCM is going to be playing just a little bit time. That's 20 seconds left for his teammate, but I think this has to be a saved round. There just isn't enough time to bomb so deep in towards that B side. And that's an extra round for the side of Sharks.
Counter-terrorists win.
Alright. Is Vertigo more of a CT or a T side? It's pretty 50-50 at this point. Of course, depending on the scene, what tier you're talking about. To be honest, let's actually check it out. It's supposed to be pretty 50-50, but if we consider the lower scene, we could actually change those stats just a little bit. It's literally 0.1% away from being a 50-50 map, so it's a pretty 50-50 map, yeah. Nice defense coming in. That's going to be 2 entries for the side of Sharks, already dropping some players towards the sandbags. Losing Doc in the process. That op shot actually misses. GBB gets away alive. Wait a minute, another shot from that op actually misses. Sureba, after a long spray, gets the kill. But Sharks, just a limping player and an AK away from bringing another round. Oh my god. This is the best opportunity for the Sharks to actually come back at this point. Sureba, the player with the better HP count at the moment, going down to the floor. Even a flash for the other side of that Tetris. GBB trying to do work with that op at this point. Still on the back lines, and I'm not entirely sure. He wants to save it for the next round, but it's going to be very, very hard at this point. Not an easy task. Ten seconds left on the board. And that's a little bit time for them to hunt that last op. And to be honest, a double op for the next round almost sounds like a good idea. Not really spotting out the player. GBB might actually live for the next round, and that's exactly what's about to happen. Saving his stats, saving that op, and giving Solid just a... Wait a minute. The rounds hopped around for some reason. There's still a round to be played for. Don't mind the HUD. It's a little bit of a problem at the moment. Doc actually dropped down the server, so we have a technical pause as well. It seems like if a player drops out of the server, it's for some reason turns over the HUD. That's going to be interesting. Mac Hathaway. Yo, welcome to the stream, brother. How you doing? A late night match for us. I'm not entirely sure what time is it for you people at the moment. Where are you guys from? What time is it? Sharks 4 and Solid 7. It's wrong. Yes, it is. I just said it. The HUD at the moment is the other way around. It's flipped. It's 2 p.m. Okay. 1:37. So almost 2 p.m. Okay, so a lot of people from America. That's kind of cool. New York. How are things in New York at the moment? I've heard some wild things about politics and people just pretty much going nuts. Madars, 1937. You're pretty much at the same time zone that I am at the moment. New York's expensive, man. Let me move to Europe. Well, you are welcome. As long as you work, welcome to Finland. New York, Florida, always nuts for politics. Yeah, they have a little bit of a more liberal way of thinking. To a point that it almost kills the country. Or the city, I guess. It's kind of funny, though. Gotta leave down here in South Carolina. All right. Kazakhstan. Give me a second. It's always hard for me to pronounce it. Kazakhstan. Yeah. I actually have a friend from Kazakhstan. One from Serbia as well. And Chechnya. We have a lot of people from all across Europe here in Finland. Kind of cool. Okay, back to the game. Seems like the HUD has been fixed as well. And it's going to be just a single op save from the last round. Galil, Tech9 and Deagle. Already the first shot from that op. Whizzing by, not really hitting any players. And from the short control, it seems like they want to go for an aggressive play. That nade is going to clear out the smoke for a second. But the problem is they don't actually spot near of the CTs. This could actually play for the side of Sharks, but already losing a player. Doc does get the trade, but the problem is GPP does drop the Opper. LCM actually gets the second kill. And Solid. Not really. I have to say it, Sharks not really wanting to start the round this way, but Solid taking tempo and taking the game for them. Meanwhile, DRG behind the smoke. He could be playing this to perfection like fine wine at this point. Posting the smoke. And BNC behind the pillar. If he doesn't get the information, DRG might actually go for an insane push here, but it's gonna be reset. Pushed close to the side, already coming in true. Those deagle shots are gonna miss, so Zureba goes down, and DRG is playing this so well at the moment. He's playing so much time for his teammates, and not really going down as well. Even dropping a player, using so much utility to discombobulate the push. Meanwhile, Queso from the backlines actually gets a nice kill. The defense for the side is coming in, and DRG is going to be backing off from that side. This is going to be what exactly they need for the retake. Runs out with the first shot. LCM goes for the straight and a quick straight fight. Sharks, they manage to bring it to a 5. And from this point, it's actually not that bad anymore. As long as they start off with the pistols well, and they have a cohesive T-side, it's actually possible for them to bring this game back to a solid victory. Do you see what I did there? Solid. Thanks, D. All right. North Carolina. Sweet home No, it's actually Sweet home Alabama. Yeah, it's Alabama, sorry. For a second I remembered it was Carolina. Isn't there like a song for Carolina as well? There has to be one. I think there's one for every city. There's Hotel California, West Virginia, Alabama, New York, Sinatra. Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. Exactly, dude. Yeah. I was thinking about it for a second. Okay. All right. Well, meanwhile, GPP is going to be taking that push with those dualies. Gets the first shot, gets traded quickly. That's going to be LCM with the USB. Meanwhile, this is supposed to be an A-side push. LCM finds one with the USB. One taps to the face from BNC. And get follow. In a 1 versus 2 with those dualies. Manages to do a little bit of work here. He has the control of that bomb, and they're actually going for the information. To be honest, if he jets it right now, that B-side is open. He can go for a ridiculous afterplan after actually planting that bomb to the floor. A minute left to play around with. Even an extra 5 seconds. Solid. Reading the B play already. And Gaffolo, at least he has the plant. That's going to be the flash on top. And from where the flash has been thrown, it should give him the information. But he has a little bit space to be working with. Spots the player from CT. Knows that it has to be somebody pushing from the lower side. Goes for the swing, a bullet to the face. BNC. Doesn't really give a crud. You come close, it's a bullet to the face. From long, a bullet to the face. Whatever you do, a 45 to the face.
Counter-terrorists win.
Sharks not winning the pistol round that they were kind of hoping for. But after that bomb plant, it definitely gives them a buy for the Galils, so they can actually start to fight early on. Looking at the buys, it's going to be a straight of M4s with a few MP9s. Meanwhile, Solid. They have enough utility to hold on for a few seconds in this round. The question is, can we see some insane plays? A very slow game at the start. There has been some moments But it seems like both of the teams are a little bit scared to go for those straight duels. And again, no first pushes, neither from the side of Solid or Sharks. So just pretty much playing a minute off the board again. Making sure that no mistakes has been made. But if the enemy team does any, they can actually use it for their advantage. Meanwhile, Doxin does find the kill on towards GPP. PNC is going to be overrun behind the smoke. A two-man entry is going to work out well. LCM does find one from the side, but the problem is even if he finds the second one, he's going to be traded. And that leaves his team in a man deficit to go for the retake. Xureba from the short with a nice spray on that M4. That's a lot of work. Drops down to the side, and I think Vertigo actually hears that from the corner. Oh, that's a little bit sloppy. Doesn't get the kill, but Cafolo, even low in HP, sticks alive, and that's enough. That Molotov could actually do a lot, but he's going to go for the swing. There's not enough time on the clock already. And Solid, with a very nice attempt, they just cannot retake the side in time. And only if he had kits, he could have actually gone for the stick, but no. One more round for the side of Sharks, and if they keep winning rounds like this, especially thinking about the fact that there is a bit of a save coming in about a second, if Solid can't get their, well, poopy poop together. And a bit of a reset. So Rabbi on a very good angle towards the B side. If anybody walks into this corner without really checking anything, there's going to be a spray to the body. At the moment, I'm starting to think about who actually got through the America's RMRs. I think it was Fury got through, it was Liquid. I'm really not remembering at the moment. I need to open up that list in about a second. I was thinking about how many Brazilian teams do we have at the RMRs at the moment. Trying to get through. Queso. Close angle. Has been bombarded with utility at this point. Still alive. Even actually hit through the plywood. They're going to go for row number 2. He's still alive. Nobody's actually hitting that second row bullets. He does get the first kill. It went low in HP. Oh, it's actually not him. It's going to be LCM to help him out with that shot. But Doxin with his teammate. They do open up the B side. And Solid left to wonder should they just save these weapons and armor. And to be honest, that might be the best option here at this point. Let me open up HLTV. So if I find Liquid, find their match in the RMRs as well. It's upcoming matches. There it is. Okay. So it was Furia, Complexity, Wildcard, Boss, M80, Liquid, Rocket, and Elevate. Nouns made in Brazil: Legacy, Imperial, Bestia, Otic, Pain, and Red Canids. There's actually a lot of Brazilian teams through the qualifiers already. So they're going to be pretty much going against each other. And if I understood correctly, it's going to be 5 teams that get through. Can you speak some Spanish? ¿Cómo estás? Estoy bien. Well, I'm not entirely sure why I said I'm well. Pero yo estoy preguntando si cómo estás. ¿Y cómo está la día allá? Estamos comentando un juego aquí. En inglés. So let's get back to English. Meanwhile, Sharks just a round away from bringing this game back into their control. That's going to be thrown Molotov for the other side of that plywood. And Solid with the weak buy. They're going to have to do a lot of work here to try to hold down to the B side. Smokes and utility being used again. That's going to be even the burn for the pillar. Drop smoke to give them a little bit more space to work with. Meanwhile, the push coming in. That's going to be the high flash for the quad, and Doxy with a beautiful entry. Finds out the player behind the pillar. The USP is trying to just nuzzle through a player, but it's not going to work out. Runs out with 2 entries, and Doxy with the same. That is pretty much going to be the round. Doctor is going to give you a little bit of an injection of bullets. And Solid finds themselves in an 8-8 situation. So a tie. Sharks already fighting on so well. GPB actually finds 1 kill before he lets the round reset. Hawks close angle. It's gonna be challenged with that 5-7 as well. I needed to ask that question. I want you to resonate for a second and just answer the question. Let's see if we can get the right answer. Alright, a few seconds at the start of the round has been played. Meanwhile, Xreba already with a deep mid control. That's going to be a lot of space to play with. The USPs are being thrown to the gutter. It's going to be a Rove M4 to go for those peaks, but it doesn't matter. DRG still double entry to start off the fight towards the A side. The peaks coming in. That flash is going to be enough for Runs Out to get to the side, but he gets a little bit lucky for that off shot not to hit. Got follow with a dual kill, and that's just gonna be the round quickly over and done. Sharks. At the moment, we are not even getting a full send. It's just a run to the side, and they're looking very good on the T side. Landing very good shots. And with the tempo that they have, surprising the enemy team again and again and again. Looking very good while they're doing it.
Terrorists win.
That is pretty much it. Xreba, the only one left with a rifle, and barely with his life as well. That's life, Kravitz. That's life. It's tough. But the problem is, it doesn't really matter how many rounds. If the enemy's team's T side is better, it is just better. That's how CS works. Alright, well. Trying to get as much use as they can from that M4. Spotting a player already from a lower fight. Actually coming in with beautiful shots. BNC with 3. That's going to be Queso with 1 on the board. Gaffolo does get 1, but oh my god. Solid. Bringing this back to a 9-9. Looking very good while they're doing it. Solid with a beautiful round. I love it how, if you read the chat, whatever happens in the round, it's a fixer. Oh! Jesus dropped on the server. Oh, they're fixing it. Whatever happens. Server crashes. Oh, it's a fix. Somebody wins the round. Oh! Look at that. Definitely a fix. Oh, he shot somebody with an M4? That's a fix. Oh god, the chat is really keeping me alive at the moment. Love it. Well, starting fights coming in. It seems like Sharks, they're not getting shit from the last round. Dog starting off with the first kill. Rizal gets the second one. Only a kill in between from GBB. That's going to be the set utility. For the second that they hear that tick on that plant, that's going to be the molly dropped. And even Nate on top of it, DRG has to be very careful here. To be honest, he could just bait out those shots. He had a second line of Molotovs as well. I'm not entirely sure why he didn't use it. Seems like he's gonna go for the retake with that. 30 seconds left on the clock to play around with. Xureba changing positions into a little bit of a better spot, but it seems like they're going to be saving it. Solid is going to be pretty much just giving away the 10th round for Sharks. And I do kind of feel it. The economy is very shitty for them at the moment. They can't really go for insane plays. If they lose these weapons, Sharks, they might be getting closer to 11 at that point. With this save, they can pretty much give them a second lifeline. Lol fixed, yes, exactly, yes. Oh, a new round started. Fix. Oh, look at that. I knew that they were gonna spawn on a map. That's insane. That's a fix. God. Well. Up to a new round we go. Time out for the side of solids to talk about a few strats here. What could they actually do in a situation like this? They have a bye and almost enough for the lost bonus for the next round as well. If they lose this one, it's not going to be the end of the world, especially LCM with a lot of money. If they save weapons, if the rounds don't work, Solid still have a little bit of a lifeline. That's going to be actually Kova flashes, 2 of them for the A ramp to make sure that they could actually take a little bit space at the start, but there is a smoke covering up the short. A little bit of a better space smoke for the T side to get a little bit closer on the ramp. Through the smoke, a few bullets being shot. That's going to be Xureba. Making sure that if anybody's standing behind them, they're going to be tagged a few times. Close down the ramp. That's going to be GPB with the smoke. After information, he can actually drop that to play a little bit more space towards the A side again. This is segments at this point. Solid is just, after every single information that they have, they're just playing seconds off the clock. But the problem is going to be the fights. They do have to go for them at some point. And it seems like Sharks, they're getting a little bit ready to hold down the site. Entry utility is already being dropped. They have been taking a little bit damage from the nades, but this is going to be bad. From the close angle, LCM is going to find a very good shot on towards Senzao. That's going to be the bomb being even dropped. But finally, the straight coming in from BNC. DRG gets a killed Queso with a nice trade, and this might be the best looking round in a while that Solid is going to post on the board. Behind the smoke, the follow actually gets a kill. That's going to be a little bit of a sloppy situation, but they're 1 versus 3, 20 seconds being left at USB. Every single bullet is going to be spent, and BNC gets the kill. A triple kill on the site. That makes it look easy. Doesn't matter for the side of Sharks. They're still going to go for the buy. Doc doesn't have enough money. Biden. I'm not sure why I said that, but Biden. And it's going to be a rifle away shy from a full buy. Mac 10. If they want to go for a full run rush for example, either of the sides, that might work out well. Biden. Well, after the time, another question is, did we learn something? Solid, if they can actually tap this round up the butt, this could be a very good spot for them to close down this game. Meanwhile, the same goes for Sharks. They still have enough money for the next round to buy in for the side of Solid. There's not gonna look pretty. A nice spray. Sandbag still alive. Utility coming in. The dump. That nade is gonna get the kill. Renzel with the trade. Already from short, we're gonna get another fight in about a second. That's gonna be a minute 20 left on the block. Clock and LCM. That's the kill on towards Togle. And a quick trade. Togs was the good sacrifice. Meanwhile, LCM still alive. That's gonna be Doc. He has to be careful of the push from short. The timing could be everything here. LCM still alive. The push coming in. Oh, I'm not sure if they can actually spot it out. Ranzau is going to get the clear headshot. LCM maybe stretching just a little bit too much here. Trying to go for that information. Pretty much sacrifices the man lead. And the Queso close to the crane. And if they go for the B-side execution... Oh, look at this. Already down towards the B-side. This lurk is going to be perfect. Sharks. The question is, can they play around it? The second kill coming in from Doxin. That's going to be Queso. Drop down to the floor. And in about a second, they should have the information that B-side is fully open. There's nothing that Zureba can do except try to run back to the side and maybe get a kill. 15 seconds left on the clock. The bomb definitely is going to be planted in about a second. Not even a question about it. Sharks brings it back to a one-round lead. Meanwhile, Solid. Now the question is, after seeing a round like this already, can they find themselves in a situation that they can actually turn this around now? It's a bit of a scuffed situation. We are battling for the chance to get to the finals. So the semi-finals still pretty much open. Either of these teams could be the one to lead the way. Utility being dumped. That is gonna be even the utility given for his teammate. Smoke for the deep side of it. Even a nade to clear it out. Nobody's actually posting behind it. Solid being playing very passively so far. Not really going for any changes on the meta. Really just making sure that they're starting to stick alive. Pretty much stick around alive as long as they can. LCM starting to lead the push from short again. We've seen this already. And the movie didn't play out well. Molotov for the sandbag. PD is going to be turned away. That sloppy spray from that AK is not going to pretty much almost hit him. He does do a little bit damage for both of the players. The issue is he doesn't get the kill. Molotov for short to push down LCM back from that spot. DRG. Drago pretty much just waiting for a bullet. That's going to be a beautiful shot. Opper being taken care of, but from Elevator. Quick trades across the map and Sharks. They open up A-side. Oh my god, Solid. Left between a rock and a hard place. This is going to be hard to retake this one, and I think they actually want to go for a 2 versus 3. Utility has been used. They're actually going to even swap the weapons inside that smoke. At least a rifle. Or SMG, if you want to call it the FAMAS dad. Meanwhile, runs out from short. The only thing he has to do is pretty much just bait out time and make sure that nobody's going to be pushing for it. And the hard call is going to be made. They are going to be saving the weapon. Solid. Oh no, this Mustang. This Mustang as a round. Kaboom.
Terrorists win.
That's a hard pill to swallow. well, no time to think about it or even cry about it. As a new round starts, they just have to pretty much just stick it through. Try to do their best on their own map pick. Starting it off so well with a beautiful lead. And it's been already solved. And even giving back to the enemy team. This is just ridiculous at this point. The question is for how long can actually keep stretching this game. Just a round could be enough for them to talk about a comeback. And maybe bring this to an overtime. Meanwhile, for the side of Sharks, just a round to... Well, it's a comeback and pretty much just a win of this game. Close, short smoke, and Solid with the same gameplay already. That's the issue. No changes in their gameplay. That's going to be Queso close to the B pit. Gets quickly traded. Does get a kill, but the problem is, from B side, that's not going to be enough. They could actually rotate back. They don't have to stick towards the B side now. And what's great about Sharks, even if they get that first frag, they don't really rush to either of the sides. They're pretty much letting the enemy team to make their mistakes. Makes the game just a little bit easier for them. Pop flash for quad there. Xereba gains a bit more control from the B stairs. Meanwhile, execution towards the side. Utility being just jogged all across the side. That's going to be a lot of stuff being used. Even the Molotov for the back lines. They have no opportunity to even get close to the side. Doc does open up the first kill. Brings it to a 3 versus 3 again. With that trade, but got followed through the smoke. Dropping down the player. Oh god, now. This is starting to look very good for the side of Sharks. Just to shut it down. Solid. 2 mans away from losing their own mapping after a ridiculous lead. For a second, it looked like Shark, they had no business inside Vertigo. But at this point, they're on the brink of actually winning it. A pop flash coming in. That's going to be the double spray from the side of Gafolo. And the round is done. And Sharks, they take map number 1, which was Solid's own pick, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it doesn't matter at this point. We are going to be hopping into map number 2, which is Anubis, and that's Shark's own pick. We're going to take a little bit of a break, hop back in when we're ready, and see you in about a second. And welcome back. Starting on Anubis, it's going to be, well, the swap, side's been pretty much swap at this point. It's going to be Shark starting on the CT side, on their own map pick as well. Solid. Starting on the T. Already a few shots being exchanged, but it seems like the B side has been already lost, and B is going to be also retaken. DRC with a beautiful tap to the face. Actually, there's a little bit of a chance for them to start to bring this back from the smoke. She tries to drop LCM. But runs out, tries to use the timing for his advantage. Can follow this, can want to bring it back to a 2 versus 2. So this is a little bit of a workable situation, I guess. But outside B main LCM already been spotted. A deep flash being thrown, and LCM with a beautiful control on that clock. Drops both of the players, clutches around, and makes it look easy. Well played round for LCM. Clutching the first round. Sharks on their own map pick. Well, not being able to do whatever they want. Glanzao. Off to a new round we go. Old medicine is going to be thrown to the trash can. Starting off utility. That's going to be See It Queso. With a nice kill onto Runzao. High flash. Hog's the one to lead it. Just gets drop onto Queso. A nice shot from that SMG to get a kill at least. And a round like this gets flipped on its face. Sharks already 2 rounds down, but it doesn't matter here at the start. Just waiting to get those rifles back into the game. That's exactly what's about to happen now. It's not going to be the full sets of utility. Doesn't really matter at this point. You want to go for those fights. And Anubis is known for the T's to have a little bit of a better spot to aim at. Even B-side executions. I think that if this utility is just to show enough for them to get a reaction. What a push coming outside of B main. That's going to be talks with DRG to get the first entries, and even a lot of information and damage being done even towards LCM. So, a smoke to get a little bit closer to the side. Behind the smoke, Dog with a beautiful double K. Drops it down, can follow behind a pillar. Gets Jureba. And as quickly as they start, Solid stomped on that B push. The timing is everything. Well-timed push at the exact same moment that they were about to go for the execution. Counter utility from that flash. Flashes the whole team. And even a little bit blind, they're gonna go for those frags. It's a little bit sloppy at the mid part of it, but it doesn't matter. Sharks, they still pull out a round like this. Eagle shots at the start. Does Dock down to 60. Still alive, just pretty much swaps away here. And that's going to be the defense flash. It's going to actually go for the middle control here. Spots out. Nobody's really that close to it, so it doesn't matter. Resets the situation. And goes for a new play. Smoke's been dropped in front of connector. Utility. Close to being used. That's going to be from the close angle. First player's been spotted. Does get the kill. Renzao gets traded quickly after the first one, but that's enough time for his teammates to get a little bit closer to the side, and maybe for Doc to get into a little bit of a better spot. But for some reason, he's still challenging with the USBs. Really in a bad spot, not really giving his teammates a little bit of a chance to maybe relax in that situation. The push coming in from middle as well. So that's a player on the side can follow, make sure that the middle push is not going to work out in Zareba. Oh, he's going to be run down. Togs with 2 kills to save the B side. That's going to be a follow with 1. And Solid, after the pistol in the second round, well, the 2 con rounds go solidly for the side of Sharks. See that pun? More rounds to be played, but Sharks already stepping in here at their own pick on the CT side. Nades being used on middle. That's going to be outside of B. Solid just readying for a push, but oh, those double nades. The damage is huge. And a push coming in. This is just going to be a blender at this point. Tox gets 1. That's going to be a follow with the op. And DRG, with that AK, make sure that neither of those terrorists are pretty much going to get close to that B side. And that's going to be the round. The lead. One round lead for Sharks. Already stepping up here in Anubis. And to be honest, to see them get away with gun rounds like these, that's usually what you need in Anubis, especially on the CT side. As long as you have a good T side, which almost every other team has, it's possible for them to turn this around. Utility on top of DRG. That's not going to do a lot of damage though. Maybe max this gun bubble, let him just a bit get followed. That's good to drop onto GPP, but quickly with the Molotov. He's going to be traded from the depths. Mid is still being fought for. Defensive smokes. And DRG with a kill on towards Kureba. Bank. Banco. LCM fully blind. Goes for the timing shots. But Solid with a man disadvantage. They kind of have to get a frag quickly. Outside of B main, LCM is exactly on top of that. Gets the kill on towards quad. Just a single bullet from that AK is going to be enough. And from Connector, the quick push for BNC. Dropped by Draco. And from behind the wall, oh, he's playing this so well. The movement is key. Doc helps out with 1, DRG with 1. And B side is going to be held down. Solid might be a little bit shocked at the moment. How well they are prepared here on CT side. But to be honest, they haven't really done anything that crazy throughout the rounds. There's of course that one round where they decided to push with the flashes outside B main, but every other game has been pretty much standard so far. Starting utility here. Tox is going to be the one to spend some of his money to hold on to the round, and already Shark's logo is even burning. Not entirely sure how that's possible under the water, but it seems like it is. Middle has been already lost. Push coming in from mid side, and they might actually spill it towards that A. There's still a player on top of the platform, just pretty much ready with his utility. It's going to be the single smoke being used. Tech9's leading the charge already. Wait a minute, they actually get both of the frags for free. Solid. That A side push is going to be perfect. And maybe a little bit of a mistake play from the side of Sharks. Holding it so deep from the side, maybe gaining A main access could have been the play there. Not entirely sure why. Utility has been used at the perfect timing all over A side. Meanwhile, Sharks, if they save those 3 weapons towards the next round, that's going to be a good situation for their economy. Losing a round like this is not the end of the world. The problem is that it was a little bit of a cheaper round from the side of Solid. So Sharks, they could have stacked a few CT sides here. A few rounds more. But there's still rounds to be played for. And looking at their gun rounds so far, to be honest, not that bad. Still no ups being seen from the side of Solid. I'll see I'm still playing with that M4. As long as he has that rifle. Seems like he's gonna opt in for it. BNC with the first entry. Exactly what Solid needed. More rounds like that to open up the game. Utility being used on connector as well. And back from those smokes, DRG. Trying to use his utility for good. We have already seen in the previous games how somebody can actually manage to hold down the site only from this position. Nade on top of that smoke. The timing is a little bit off. Solid still not actually pushed down towards the B side, but oh, DRG with 2 beautiful shots. This was exactly what I was talking about. The long position seems to be a very strong spot in this map, especially with the timings and off crosshair. Beautiful shot from Doc to get this kill close to that corner off that smoke. Meanwhile, it's going to be his teammate to get the last kill on B side, get saved. Another round for the side of Sharks. And just look at the economy from the side of Solid. They might have enough to buy with, but it is not going to be clean. And if they lose this round, with that loss bonus, it's not going to look pretty. Blue gem. Early on, smoke here at the start to block out long, but it actually lands the wrong way. The smoke is going to play for the CT a little bit better. Doc is going to be opening up the round with that first kill on the BNC. Mag drops. Meanwhile, Togs finds the second kill from that corner. Why did they hesitate to plant the bomb? The reason is because they were way too close to the site. The second they hear that tick, usually the CTs like to jump on top of them, especially on a map like this where the plant is very open. Meanwhile, Togs still from that corner. Oh, he's not being checked. That's going to work out so well. Goes for the first kill. Doesn't get the second one, but it doesn't matter anymore. GBB barely gets away from that situation. There's still the hole outside of that being main. The bomb on the other side of it. And CTs, they're just loving life at this point. Sharks. This round is working out so well. LCM does get the kill on towards DRG. A little bit of a swing there that goes for nothing, but it doesn't matter. Gafalo shuts down the last 2 players, and that is going to be a round again for the side of Sharks. It's 2 rounds away from getting a flaming logo. And this is insane. 6 rounds on a CT side here in Anubis, and there's still 3 rounds to be played for. So pretty much, after pretty much 4 rounds, everything is just a bonus. They already have 2 bonus rounds and 3 to be played for still. And just look at the economy for the side of Solid. They don't have enough money to even buy rifles. Sharks managing to almost stomp this game from the side of the CTs here at the start. And there's still even a total T side to be played with. Renzao Finds the first kill here. And main. Smokes out that Molotov just to put a little bit more space for himself. So, of course, the T's are not going to go for that peek. A bouncing nade. Anybody close to that B main? And that's just going to be the second line. That's going to do a lot of damage. 56 points. Straight off the bat, even a flash in front. But that Tech 9 is going to work out perfectly. They drop down both of the players trying to hold it down. Oh, that Molotov almost burns GBB to a crisp, but it's a 2 versus 3. I'm not entirely sure how Solid are pulling these rounds. For a few rounds now, we've seen Sharks at this A hold being disorientated on those holds. Not entirely really understanding what they're holding. The Sharks with a pretty good round here. And it seems like the key seems to be the lower buy rounds. Because the pistol round they won, the round after that also. They did already win 1 half eco buy. And this is going to be the second one. So maybe they shouldn't buy rifles. Maybe just play with the Tech 9s. Use a lot of flashes. And just go for those entries. Boom. Boom. Well, well, well. Off to a new round we go. First time we're going to see a little bit of a save from the side of Sharks. And already very close to that middle. Trying to hold down the player, showing the utility. BNC is ready for it. But the second swing from those USBs does land the shot. A few shots for an LCM to drop down Doc. With that 5-7, springing back into action. Gains the control of that AK. And we're getting into a little bit of an uncomfortable situation. We're Solid. Well, they are at the man advantage, and they could actually bring that bomb towards the BA site. The issue is, one of the players is a little bit low, and that's exactly the bomb carrier. And if they lose the first fight here, towards the heaven, that's going to be a second player very low in HP. There's still a lurker far away from A site. They're going to have to go for the play together, and a push coming in from the... Wait a minute, the camera, they already got the kill, GRG, with a beautiful shot, but they didn't know that the player is behind the cake, spots it, LCM still hits the headshot, and even from off angle, GRG left in a very awkward spot. It's not going to be doable this time around. Queso, the one to hold it down, and Solid, they navigate through a very uncomfortable round. That has to be a very sticky situation. Insane to think about the fact that Spirit is actually the best team in CSGO at the moment. That is just nuts. Well, we're about to see a game against the Strawlers in about a second or so. They get to prove themselves again. Meanwhile, outside of B, quick kills for the side of Queso. Drop spot of the players starting to go for a swing. We saw this already before. GPP with the last kill, or sorry, LCM with the last kill. That was pretty much one-sided here, but Solid, they do get 6 rounds. Sharks already with the 6. Not getting a bonus round after that. Doesn't really matter at this point. Enough for the upcoming T side. Sharks enjoying their own map pick. Is this a T or a CT-sided map? It's a very T-sided map. Somebody's scoping in the chat at the moment. But a CT can defend well. Well, it's like saying driving a car without the tires is possible, but I just wouldn't suggest it. Hopping on round number 1 from the second half. Pistol round from the side of Shark. If they win the pistol right off here at the start, that's going to be a very good start for them to actually start to shut down this game. Meanwhile, a few USB shots are gonna miss the target. Doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, it is actually. Those numbers were pretty correct. 60 to 40. I think it was like 58, 57% for the T side. And 43 to 42% for the CT side. You were actually almost entirely correct. Nice percentage. Meanwhile, already some of the pistol players has been dropped. That's going to be the push coming in. Oh, Glock finally hits the shot, but it's going to be Xurba. Xurba, get that shot on top of the smoke. Actually drops down to the fuse. Oh, God. Could actually follow to it again, and that's going to be enough for them to clutch the round. Solid. I was 100% sure they didn't have a chance to stop the defuse anymore. And Sharks, with the 7th round on the board, and Solid, with the best possible pistol round and even the start for the second half, to fight for map number 3. They let it go through their fingers. Oh my God. Andrew has some very wrong stats. It is 60-40. Togs with a beautiful entry. That's going to be GPP with the trade. Meanwhile, the defense seems to be working out, but it's going to be just trades across the board. Around like this. Can go south very quick. And for the CT side, they need to keep those numbers up. More weapons that they have for the next round is going to be better for them. Bomb is going to be rotated more towards that B side. And from a spot like this, either side could actually do some great work. Queso left to just get the information. If you can get one from cross, that's going to be... Oh, God, he gets spotted and spammed. He goes for the repeat. In front of those bullets. Dropped immediately. That's it at this point. CT's opting in for the save directly. And this was a buy. Solid. Sacrificing everything they pretty much have. Except those 2 weapons. And Sharks, after clutching the pistol round, starting off with 8 rounds here on the second half. 2 rounds in a row. Not a single answer from the side of Solid. And already issues with the economy. They have to drop those weapons. Oh my God. Follow dropping down from a heaven. Making a few steps towards the water. That's going to be in the middle push coming in from the Doc is actually going to be helping out his teammate. DRG does go down. The push coming in. That flash is going to be amazing. Doc with a beautiful kill on towards GPP opens up the A site. And Radzao gets the second frag. And Sharks with the bomb down already. You can see Solid just saving. Nothing they can do. Tugs. A kill onto LCM.
Terrorists win.
Bomb explodes. And a round resets. M4. The only weapon that saves for the next round. Solid. I'm not entirely even sure if a timeout helps at this point. Sharks just pretty much finding those entries for free. And this is a little bit of a tough situation to be at. It's going to be a half buy from the side of Solid, saving enough money for the next round to go for the buy, but it's going to be a 5-7 straight with a USB and an M4. LCM saving enough money for that op. A few shots for that M4 to maybe get lucky and hit a shot. Maybe get a frag with it. Start off the game. Get that first entry. The issue is Sharks. They know how to be a little bit careful at the start. And Solid just left in awe. What can they actually even do from a situation like this now? Around the map, across it as well. Utility being dumped on towards the window and Molotovs for the broken wall. And even to behind the cake. And Sharks, it doesn't seem like they're going to actually use the utility. Through the smokes, the flash. I'm not entirely sure what that was. Xureba trying to go for some hero plays. Gets shut down before he even starts. DRG does get one more kill from the back lines. That's going to be GPP from the close angle on that connector. Waiting to get the first entry. To be honest, with the 5-7, it's possible to get a few headshots. But meanwhile, DRG is going to be the one to get the last kills from the A side with 4 kills on his belt. Makes it a 10 for Shark. And Solid. At this point, I'm not entirely even sure what to call this. An absolute stomp here on Anubis. They definitely wished more T-side rounds. They just couldn't manage to hang. And finally, we're getting a full buy from the side of Solid. 3 rounds to be played for still. So, theoretically, it's possible for them to turn around. The problem is the rounds we have already seen are not that, well, convincing. Even a hard M4 without a silencer has been spotted in the server. It seems like Queso enjoys that weapon. Behind a pillar, op coming into play. That's going to be the first shot. He does get burned away. LCM. Drop down at the start and A side fully open again. They can go directly for the plant. There's not going to be an issue here. Sharks logo burning. Meanwhile, that C4 hits the ground. And now Solid has been left with a very hard option. Do they want to go for the retake? Or is it just going to be a save? And that's going to be very hard to call it out. But a full swing coming in at BNC does get the first kill to start off. That's going to be Xureba with a beautiful shot. And actually BMC gets one more to swing coming in. And they finally win a round. Solid. They make it a 7. It spends every single drop of gasoline from their tanks bit of a reset here. Both sides can finally buy in. It's going to be just solid. With a few players just short of a few utilities, but at the end of the day, it's not that serious. They have enough to be playing around with. It's going to be Sharks, actually, with a almost perfect buy. Seems like they have actually even saved a little bit of money towards the bank, so they're going to be at least stringing a few rounds here in a row where they can fully buy in back to the game. Smokes in front of that A push, so they could actually push towards the pillar behind it, or just try to bait it out. Of course, the sneak gameplay coming in under Tuk-Tuk. That's going to be Xureba, the first one in line. GBB, finding the first shot. Drops down to follow. Important kill. Meanwhile, Doc finds the kill towards the window. That's going to be Renzao. From the lower part of that A push, finds the trade. Doesn't actually let his teammate even go through. And a beautiful hold on that A push. Works out for the side of Sharks very well and solid. Well, they're royally flushed at this point. Finds a beat there. GBB actually drops down a player. That's going to be a good entry, but the problem is Renzao. Quick, a better no scope almost. That was a quick scope. Never seen something like that. The first shot actually misses. Oh, it gets a little bit sloppy, but Queso. Again, we have a clutch. Solid, brings it to an 8. They are very close, 2 rounds away, but the problem is every time they go for those retakes, they barely get out alive. And that's just a single weapon being saved for the next round. Like you saw from the previous round, they barely had any money then. Meanwhile, Sharks, every time that they get that bomb on the floor, especially with the half buys that were with the half of the money being saved, they can buy comfortably back into the game. And knowing that the economy is going to be pretty much dog poo-poo for the side of Solid. And basically almost no utility for a few of the players. To be honest, at this round, Sharks could just play a little bit of time at the start, trying to push them into using some of that utility early on. Flash for a main, even a deeper Molotov to disperse the push, but Xureba behind that smoke goes for the first kill when it actually clears off. Renzao quickly gets the trade and keeps the numbers alive. Molotov back of that cake to push away that one spot that they have from the defense. Meanwhile, I think the idea is to try to get one of those players to rotate towards the B side. Away from the B side. It seems to be working. Only a 2-man hold coming in. And Solid. They have to go for some great individual performances right now. Gafolo is going to be the one to lead it out. Molotov at the perfect timing to play a little bit more time, and you can see the counter rotation coming in from the A side. Finally, they realize that the real push is coming on towards the B. Outside of main. Not entirely sure if he hit the player, but he definitely spotted it. GPP in front of nothing. Turning his back against the enemy, and a push coming in. See Queso actually does get a beautiful shot before he goes down, but it's going to be the Molotov. Actually, the nade to take care of him. And LCM left as the solo player. Defend off B side and maybe go for the retake. The question is, does he want to go for it? Or does he want to save the weapon for our next round? And Sharks, they don't seem to be giving him an easy option here. Not an entry. Not a quick kill at the start to go for a retake. Solid. Saving an op is going to be the most that they can do in a round like this. And I have to say, it has to hurt. That stings.
Terrorists win.
A round away from a map point, 2 away from, well, to be honest, this is at the moment a match point. And 2 rounds away from victory for the side of Sharks. Meanwhile, Solid, well, they're not actually behind the enemy team that much. It's 3 rounds. The problem is we're talking about Anubis. Especially seeing what they had to give in these CT rounds. It's been pretty much played off the back foot. Every time they have to go for a retake or pretty much just barely stay alive, trying to rotate those players away from that conflict. That's going to be a little bit of a better spot for the side of Sharks. To go for a few plays more. Utility. Even a drop nade on top of smoke to make sure that they get some information. GPB with a nice shot on towards Doc. A nice way to start off the round. A man deficit for the side of Sharks. And solid. They could fight for a round like this now. A silent round. Not a single misstep has been made. Entry utility, that's going to be the flash to start off the round. A lot of utility being dumped on towards the side and already the execution coming in. They need to get a frag quickly, but it's going to be from the camera. To drop down, the first player runs out with DRG. Opening up that A side. And not a single answer from those weapons. LCM with that op can't actually even go for the peak there. And the problem is that the utility at the moment that Sharks are throwing is just a little bit too strong. A tap to the face to wake him up. But from 5 versus 4 into a 4 versus 3, that almost clean execution is going to work out for Sharks pretty well. DRG already posting behind the barrel, so GBB has to be careful here. Oh, he's actually not gonna even go to be checking it, so a free AK has been given for the side of Solid. They can actually save that for the next round now. It's gonna be a decent buy. Or is it? Of course, the op gets ran down. Oh no. LCM. Just trying to do his best to live for the next round. Oh, that has to burn. We're very close into a new round here. And Sarks round away from victory. Even posting a little bit of a tower in towards middle. Timing is a little bit off, but the idea is good. Meanwhile, BNC from the close angle wins the first fight. Dabs the second, gets the third one. That's going to be a triple kill from middle. DRG is going to be the one to actually open those 2 frags back. So just a man disadvantage. It's not going to be the end of the world, but the problem is BNC. And that CT angle does a lot of work there. Ranzao is going to be the one to push in towards that B side first. I'm not entirely... Yeah, they actually have to have the bomb control. The DRG is going to be the one to actually bring it back. The hair on this man is immaculate. Already. Spotting on what's happening in front. What a flick shot! A bullet to the face! And a triple kill for the man, and that burn is going to take care of Temple. Ranzao wins the fight, and from a 5 versus 2 into a 1 versus 2, I'm not entirely sure how they lost control of this round. With those entries, very strong performance here at the start for BNC, but it just isn't enough. Solid. Xureba, 70 point of hell to work around with. The push coming in from Temple at this point in Sharks. They have played half of that clock away already. This has to be a quick push into the side, but only with a Molotov. Especially when they have the utility to go on top of it. Oh, this is going to be a thrown round. It's done. Solid. Nothing they can do. Xureba is not even going to try for it. Sharks, they win this 13-8. And they make it look easy, beautiful, and clean. Anubis is his stump. And I have to say, what a beautiful way to end it. And from the lower brackets, they are going to get a spot into the semifinals to go against Case and fight for the finals. So we can actually open up the bracket if we have the graphics over here at the moment to check out what's been happening, to see where they are placed at the moment. But congratulations to Sharks. A very good game, but for Solid, well, a nice try. And maybe next time you'll do a little bit better. So hopefully we can see you on the next season. Season 7. That's going to be Season 7. So, but we are pretty much done here. All over from Finland. A quick 2-0. And Sharks, they get actually through to the lower bracket finals. And we are going to be off pretty much. So see you guys in the future. Have a good time. And we'll see you in the next game, I guess. Have a good time.